Hello and welcome to the Machono podcast. I hope you've had a great week. This week we are talking about long distance relationships. Now, long distance relationships can be difficult and can put a strain on even the strongest of couples. It can be hard to maintain a strong connection when you are separated by miles, time zones, and sometimes even entire oceans. But don't let distance prevent you from finding and keeping true love. It is possible to make a long-distance relationship work with the right attitude, communication, and effort. You can make your long-distance relationship last. So one of the most important parts of a successful long-distance relationship is communication. It's important to make sure you are both making the effort to stay in touch with regular phone calls and text messages. Video calls are a great way to feel more connected nowadays, as it can feel like you are in the same room together and make you feel, like you are just a touch away from the person that you're talking to. And you can also make time to talk about little things as well as big things. And so in all, it's important to stay connected even when you are apart, and this helps you grow stronger together. So another key aspect of keeping a long distance relationship strong is trust. You are obviously away from each other, but you need to know that your person is your person, and they need to also know that you are their person as well. So when you are not able to be together physically, it can be hard to trust your partner that they are being faithful to you, and it may be so for them as well. It will be hard for them to trust that you are being faithful to them. But it is important to be honest and open with each other and make sure that you are both on the same page about your expectations and boundaries. If there's something either of you is feeling insecure about, it's important to talk about it openly. So openness is the main key there. Share your feelings, share your views and ideas on how your relationship can proceed moving forward. So it's also important to make sure you're both making an effort to show your love and appreciation for each other. Even when you're apart, little surprises like sending a care package or arranging a surprise visit can really show your partner how much you care. Taking time to do something special for your partner can be a great way to keep the romance alive, even when you are miles away. So finally, it is important to remember that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, as it is said. While long-distance relationships can be difficult and require a lot of effort, the rewards are worth it. With enough patience, understanding, and dedication, you can make your relationship last, even from afar. Now, what I've noticed about long-distance relationships, I would say, is that they, first of all, help you to get to know each other more on a personal level, because when you are together in person, there are a lot of things that come in the way of just you having those long conversations. But when you are apart, maybe you spend an hour just talking to each other, because there's not really much else that you can do apart from talking. Sometimes you spend maybe 2 hours just talking to each other, and also you get used to asking each other questions more, because in person, when you are sitting next to someone and you keep asking them questions, sometimes it feels like it's an interrogation. But when you are apart from each other, asking each other questions, how was your day? Such simple questions, how was your day? What did you get up to? What did you eat? Those kind of like small trivial questions. They seem very silly, but at the end of the day, you get to learn more about the small or little things about your person, that you probably wouldn't have known if it was in a different setup. So relationships that are done, on a long distance level have pros and cons. Of course, you're going to miss your person every day. Sometimes it becomes difficult because you feel like you are just by yourself. You feel like you're just talking to a character on your screen or something like that. So sometimes it doesn't feel real, but what you need to understand is that in the long run it will pay off, as long as you set your goals for the relationship. And also you need to put together, I think, a timeline of how long that long distance is going to be a factor, because you can't go 3 years, 4 years in just a long distance relationship. That sometimes sounds too much for people, because they get used to not having you around, and so the next time you show up, it will be like it will be different, like a different feeling. So make sure you put a timeline on how long that long distance is going to be. And long distance relationships can be challenging, but with the right attitude and effort, they can also be incredibly rewarding, as we said earlier. So with open communication, trust, and willingness to make things work, you can make your long distance relationship last. So don't let the distance stand in the way of true love. It is possible to make it work, and as long as you have faith and trust in each other, then anything is possible. So if you are going through a long distance relationship, make sure now you've got video calls, you've got internet calls as well, because back in the day, when we were coming up, you had excuses like, oh, I don't have minutes to call you and things like that. But nowadays you can just simply make internet calls, WhatsApp or whatever other platforms they are. Almost every social media platform has the functionality of phone calls nowadays, and also video calling. So it is not really an issue anymore. If you want to see your partner who's maybe in a different country, you can easily just send a video call to them, and they will be able to see you as well. You can send each other voice notes when it's busy days. When you're at work, you can record a voice note and send it to your partner, or you can even just stay for hours on a call, and it's not going to cost you that much, because the internet has become cheaper than it used to be back in the day. So you don't even need to buy minutes for your phones. You can just use the internet pretty much for everything else. And sometimes it's also good to do activities together. Like you're just on a video call and you are cooking, and your partner is also doing the same as well. When you're just on a video call, it's like you're just together in the kitchen as well. You can read books together as well. And for those who are religious, you can have devotions together as well. So it feels like you are with your person, only that there is no physical interaction there. Once you meet to spend some time together in person, it almost feels like you have been together all along. But the advantage, like I mentioned, is you get to know your person at a more deeper level, because there's no physicality to get in the way of you getting to know each other. So if you're in a long distance relationship, best wishes to you, and I know it's something that definitely can be achieved. You can achieve happiness, just like I mentioned, put a timeline to how long that long distance is going to be a factor, and everything should be fine. So this is what I had for today. But if you have any ideas, you have any questions, you have any any disapprovals about what I've just mentioned, please do leave me a comment, and I'll be happy to get back to you and we'll have a chat. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.